Record. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to our Divine Awakening call today. How is everybody doing in the community today? I have something very special for you that I'm really proud to bring you and excited of what this story, this transformational story is going to do for you. That's my hope. And that is what my wish is for all of you. So first of all, I know we've had a lot of new people coming into the community, so I want to welcome you. Introduce myself. I'm Sherry Nicholas, for those of you who don't know me. And it is my joy to be your guide, be your mentor in this divine healing process where you've lost somebody or been betrayed by somebody, whether that be a partner or a friend, or a family member or a boss or a coworker. Betrayal happens in all aspects of life, and we're here to put our arms around you and help you move through it and to heal. So today I have, as I said, a very special treat for you. I have a client, past client of mine who I just love. She was an absolute joy to work with, and to see her from where she came to me at and where she's at today is just, I'm like a proud parent. She has just done amazing things with her life, and she is here today to share her story with you and help you understand that when she went through her betrayal and her heartache, what she did, where she was at, and how she moved forward. So I'm going to bring her on now. Jen Stoney is with us today. Welcome, Jen. So good to see you. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Sherry. When you reached out to me, I was like, oh, this is going to be so fun. So I'm really excited to give back because you gave me so much. So
I'm really appreciative and thankful to you. So Jen, I would love to get started with you by you sharing where you were at before you started working with me.
So for those of you who don't know, I am coming up on 15 years of sobriety of drugs and alcohol, completely sober, no drugs and alcohol for the last almost 15 years. And when my husband had an affair with a good friend of mine, it was when I was 4 years sober. And so when I met Sherry, it was a divine meeting. It's wild how her and I connected, but I scheduled a call. So if Sherry offers you a call, let me just tell you, it's like a godsend. So Sherry, I had a complimentary call with Sherry scheduled, and I thought, man, everything's going great. That same day that I scheduled it in advance, I was served with divorce papers. And a few months prior to that, my husband did drain the bank account. He filed for divorce and he moved out. But I thought we were doing better, right? And so here I am thinking everything's going great. I got this call lined up with this awesome coach that I don't even know who she is. And I'm like, everything's going great. And then at 2:30 in the afternoon, I'm served with divorce papers. And the person I'm renting from told me they sold the condo. So I had to find a new place to live. I have to hire a divorce attorney, all these things. I was in a place of absolute despair. I was in a place of like, oh my gosh, my world is coming crashing down on me. The worst thing that I think could happen is happening. And Sherry came into my world. And my life has been forever changed ever since.
So Jen, I always say divine appointment for sure. And that's what I'm hearing you say there too. So tell me a little bit about why it was that you decided to work with me, and because you were facing some big things, cost of divorce attorney, finding a new place to live, a lot of emotional distraught going on. So what was your reasoning or your choice making in deciding to work with me?
I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I knew that my relationship patterns weren't just with my husband. I had patterns with past partners that were similar, and the repeating pattern was me. And I knew that if I was going to take my power back, if I was going to unleash this unapologetic woman within, truly find that sparkle within me, shine, take up space, have fun again, and reclaim my financial independence and truly come back home to myself and get to know myself. I mean, Sherry, I didn't even know what paint color I liked when I started working with you. Like, I didn't know who I was because I was so busy trying to be somebody else for everyone else. So when I was invited and given such a beautiful opportunity to work with Sherry, I had thousands of dollars to spend on a divorce attorney. I had to move. All these things were coming up all at once. Here's the thing I did. I chose to move in with my parents to the bedroom above the garage at the age of close to 30 and start my life over again is how I looked. So instead of paying a mortgage payment, I chose to invest that mortgage payment in with Sherry because I knew that by investing that mortgage payment, I would then not have to feel these feelings again that I was feeling. And didn't want to do it because the pain was so bad. And I was like, I don't want to do it. So I'm going to go all in. I'm going to move in with my parents. I'm going to pay her what I would pay a mortgage payment. And I am going to truly commit to stopping these patterns that I have been cycling over again and do not serve me or anybody. We have a ripple effect in this world. And I wanted to give back. I wanted to shine my light. And so working with you, it was a big decision, but it was a but of course decision. Here's the thing, people. Sherry Nichols has results with her clients. She has been doing this for what, like over a decade, 2 decades, and she's consistent. This is her life's mission. So if you want somebody who's reliable, who has tools, who has methods, I still use Sherry's methods today. Some of my clients, they know who Sherry is because I'll tell them, I'm like, this is what helped me then. Here's a tool. Sherry Nichols taught me it. Here's the tool. Like, her tools you will use for a lifelong. This is me 10 years after working with Sherry. Your life will just keep getting better and better.
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you, Jen. I see, I mean, your face is just glowing. So let's look at what the biggest shifts were for you. What did the work do for you? And I also do want to point out, you invested in yourself. You invested in yourself. And I just know, you're right. I've been doing this for 15 years. I know that when you say yes to you, that good things happen. So I'm really, really proud that you made that decision for yourself. So fast forward, we did group work and we did private work together. So what is the biggest impact for you that this work did for you? What were the biggest shifts?
Yeah. So to put it in like a number scale, and to quickly fast forward to the good part, for those of you who don't know, my husband and I reconciled our marriage 3 weeks before the divorce was finalized. And today we are over 11 years married. We did a vow renewal ceremony at 10 years in Red Rock with Elvis. And we have 2 beautiful kids. We both run our own businesses. We live in a home that came to me in a vision while working with Sherry that I paid for, I bought. So like, just skipping to the good part for all of you. But to put it in numbers terms, when I came to Sherry, 75% of my energy and mental capacity was spent obsessing, manipulating, focusing on who can I be? What can I say? What can I do? I'll send another text message. I'll attend another event. Let me watch another YouTube video and try and figure it out on my own. Let me read another self-help book. And I was doing, and I was trying to be somebody else. And that was like 75% of my energy. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a very educated woman, and I was in finance in the auto industry for almost 10 years. I have led sales teams to be top in the nation for 6 months in a row. And here I was, a mess. But on the outside, everything looked like it was doing great because I was really good at shutting things off. But in the inside, I was crumbling. So 75% of my life was focused on really trying to figure this all out. Obsessing, anxious, manipulation, like toxicity. But I was trying to make it happen. And you all know when you're trying to swim up a river, you know how much work that takes. So Sherry helped me go down the river with flow, with ease, but she held that space for me. And so today I live my life where about 5% of the time, there are seasons and chapters. Don't get me wrong. I've gone through postpartum depression with my second son. I've had some seasons, but pretty much there's about 5% of the time where I'm trying to like force and manipulate, I would say. We're all human. Okay. We're all on a human journey. There's going to be human moments. I'd be lying to you to say if it was zero. It's not. Okay. So the thing is that I'm able to do that today because of the trust, the faith. And to give you an idea of how Sherry and I work together, when her and I did one-on-one sessions, it was on my cell phone in my Ford Focus in the back of a parking lot in the Kroger parking lot at like 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
Like this wasn't over Zoom in the perfect setting where I'm in like this glorious background and here I am, powerful Jen. No, I was a mess crying on my phone, like in the back seat. And Sherry's like, do you want to do it like at your house? And I was like, no, I don't want my family to hear. Like, and I was just, that was the space where I could have privacy and I made it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I would listen to the recordings, I would do the homework. I showed up. And what I realized is that when you take action, you can surrender. And Sherry taught me to come back home to my heart and to listen to myself. I discovered foods I liked. I discovered who I was. I discovered the paint color that I was going to paint my new place with. I discovered what I liked for interior design. I discovered that I had I started creating friend groups. I met women who were amazing and loving, and they weren't manipulative or codependent. They were supportive and kind. And that was all from us doing the work together. My life's forever changed. Mm-hmm. And I keep using your tools and it's amazing. I love it.
I'm just, like I said, I'm so proud of you, and thank you for painting the realistic picture that where you were and where you are today. And I know when I've talked to you in the past, you've shared a really the number one transformation that you had. And I would love for you to share that, because I think it would really help a lot of women watching and listening.
There's so many. One of the biggest, do you want me to share one of the biggest breakthroughs that shifted everything?
Yeah, about yourself.
Yes. So on one of our calls together, looking back on this, it makes me laugh because, you know, the work I do today, who I am today, I really think I'm looking at a different person. But, you know, Sherry has this way of holding you with such love and peace and grace and patience. She has so much patience. And I remember the call that we were on. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't love myself. I hate myself. And, you know, this is 4 years into sobriety. Everyone thinks like, oh, you get sober and everything's great. Oh, you graduate college. Oh, you have these degrees. Oh, you have all these labels. Oh, you're in the best shape of your life. Everything must be perfect. No. I was a dressed up trash can and I was a professional of making everything look good. Toxic positivity was my go-to. And so I realized I didn't love myself. And I'll never forget that day. And I, you know, went home to my parents' house and I walked in and I'm crying. And my parents are like, what's wrong? And I was like, I figured it out. Sherry helped me figure it out. They're like, what? I was like, I don't love myself. And my dad was like, this is awesome. Like, this is great. I'm so proud of you, you know? And my mom's like, oh my God, I'm a horrible mother. What's wrong with me, right? So there was like those conflicting. So if I can give you any advice, be careful who you share your healing journey with. But the beautiful thing is that I went on this new road. Something broke open that day. And I started to take micro, consistent action on loving myself, getting to know myself. And I started releasing the need to make my marriage work. We're in the middle of a divorce process, ladies. Like I was going to court. My husband wouldn't look at me. Discovery process was happening. Horrific things were said in that discovery process that weren't true. Like we're talking not like horrific things, okay? It was not pretty. And I kept walking with grace and dignity. Sherry held me to a standard that I even said, I go, this is what I want to do. Can you do it? And can you hold me to the standard? If you're not on board, like we can't work together. And she goes, I can hold you to that standard. And yes, I can support that. But she supported me with such beauty and grace and patience and love that I was then able to give it to myself because I put myself in that container with her. And so it allowed for me to be okay with being single for the rest of my life. It allowed for me to be okay with not ever having children. It allowed for me to truly be happy and have fun, knowing that a relationship doesn't define me and that I am loved as is and that I am worthy as is. And everything shifted after that.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for sharing that, Jen. And I know that was a really rough time, and you did the work. You did the work.
Mm-hmm.
And after you got to that point, what happened in your relationship?
Everything changed. I'll never forget the day that I'm sitting at work. And when I worked with Sherry too, I went through a process of taking my wedding ring off. And I had like a ceremony with myself. And I just started being okay with our marriage ending, and loving myself. And then I was going to buy myself an I Love Me ring. Instead, I bought me an I Love Me chandelier, this gorgeous chandelier to go in my room. And I was like, when I look at the chandelier, I'm just gonna feel so just in love with me. I did self-care things in the morning, at night, in the middle of the day, but I did it in a different way because I was doing that before, but I did it in a different energy. And I just released. I cut the cords with my husband, and I was just like, this is gonna get really good because I know that I am destined for an amazing life. I don't know who it's with, but it's gonna be amazing, and I'm excited for it. And my husband called me at work and said, I wanna make this work. I messed up and I wanna reconcile our marriage. And he faxed me over a dissolving our divorce paperwork. And 3 weeks before things were finalized, we dissolved our divorce. And then for the next year and a half, we dated while separated. So for 2.5 years, we were separated. And that I Love Me chandelier came in, and the stars aligned, and it just so happened that my whole family was out of the house for the first time ever in 10 years, so it never happened. And Ray called me and said, hey, what are you doing tonight? And I said, I'm putting up a chandelier. And he's like, cool, can I help you do it? And I go, you sure can. And so he came over and he installed the chandelier, and I just looked back in utter bliss of this entire moment. Fast forward, he then, I'm second of 7 children of an Italian family. He went and had discussions with every single family member in my family to say sorry, to apologize, and to make it right. I never asked him to do this. I never forced anything. I allowed things to flow. I allowed them to come back together. My husband and I never had marriage counseling. We truly both did our work on our terms, and we came back to whole beings. And everyone didn't agree with that, and I didn't care anymore. I did what I knew that God sent me here to do. And it's the work with Sherry that really set me up for success, to truly hold space for those times where, let me tell you, that year and a half was dating was shaky. It was confusing. It was frustrated. I wanted to speed up. It didn't. But I kept holding true. I kept coming back to my heart. I kept connecting with God, and everything worked out better than I could have ever imagined. My plan didn't work out, thank the Lord, but God's plan did. And everything is beautiful today because of it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And it's so true. If we just let go, and it's a cliche saying, but it is true, let go, let God, because he does have the better plan for us. And what happened for you too, Jen, and just to those of you watching, I hope that it really landed with you what Jen talked about as far as making that shift in how she felt about herself, being okay and accepting things, and not just accepting things, but shifting it around and changing her whole energetic frequency about herself, her life, her relationship. And I don't think we always recognize the power of that. And it doesn't always work out the same for everybody, but it does make you feel so much better no matter what situation you're in. And it always changes the dynamics with every relationship. So I really want to thank you for sharing that. I remember that moment when we had that session, and it was life shifting. I could feel it for you. I could feel it. So, Jen, what would you say to anyone who is in a situation where they're really stuck? They're in that betrayal place. They don't know how to move forward and they're on the fence about working with me. What advice would you give them, or what would you suggest to them?
First of all, I'd say this is a no-brainer. And here's the thing is that when you invest in yourself, you are choosing, that's the first part of healing. You are choosing and committing to saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I know I'm my best investment. I know I can trust myself. When I put money and investing, money's an energy. It's an energy, it's a commitment. And when I'm committing to myself and saying, I'm going to put money on this, I'm committing on me. I'm not doing like Russian roulette. No, because I'm my best investment. I believe in me. And I know that if I put that investment down, I'm committing, but also I'm hiring somebody who's going to hold me accountable, who's going to be objective, who's going to have a different vision. That there are things that Sherry helped me uncover that I wasn't capable of uncovering in 10 years of therapy. Like, there's the thing is that I'm somebody who I love self-growth and development. I'm somebody who I had self-growth and development books in high school. I'm somebody who I YouTubed, DIY'd, bought the books, and really was like a little dabbler. I would like buy an interview here, do a 99 thing here, do this there. And guess what? I got a dabbler results. And so if you're really looking to make a lifestyle change, if you're truly looking to commit and say, enough's enough, I know I'm worth it, then Sherry's your person. If you are looking to stay blah, plain as oatmeal, keep everything the same, stay stuck, be a victim, have pity parties, bitch and moan and complain and gossip and eat the food and numb out and do all, Sherry's not your person. If you're not ready to show up and do the work, if you are not ready to believe that you deserve better and that your life is just getting started, I don't care how old you are, your life is just getting started. Look at Louise Hayes. She started her beautiful company at 60. It's never too late. It's never too late. The miracle, stick around for the miracle. Believe in yourself. The first part, Sherry's not going to do the work for you, but she's going to give you the ingredients to make the gourmet chocolate cake. And let me tell you, she's going to give you directions to how to make that. And you're going to put that into action. It's going to change your life forever. You know, you look at somebody with a six-pack, they didn't just go dabbling around. They committed. They went to the gym every day. They made the choices that were uncomfortable. They walked through that pain and they kept walking. And, you know, it was commitment and perseverance and knowing that they deserve it. It's a choice. The action comes first, the feeling follows. If you want an amazing life, if you want to heal from betrayal, if you want to come home to your heart, if you want to create a life far beyond your wildest dreams, Sherry Nichols is your person, and she has the tools that you will use for a lifetime.
Jen, you are such a beautiful, blossomed version of yourself from the time that we first got together, and I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. You have really done the work, and you're right, though it does take a desire to move forward. It does take that desire, and you had it. So I want to thank you so much for being with us today, for sharing, and for the beautiful life that you now have. You know, you stepped in to doing what you love. I remember when I was working with Jen, and she always wanted to be a motivational coach and speaker, and you've stepped into through, you know, they say make your mess your message, and that's what I did, and that's what you've done as well. Is you have the beautiful experience now of sharing your gifts and talents, and I'm so grateful to have been a part of your journey. So thank you for that honor and that privilege. Thanks for being with us today and sharing. So for all of you watching, I would just really encourage you and invite you to really have a conversation, have a chat with me. Help me to help you. That's what I'm here for, is to really help you understand what is possible for you and how to move out of it. And it would be my honor and my pleasure and my privilege to guide you, to hold that space for you, and to love you into a space where you can have a life like Jen. And you can see she's glowing. She's glowing with happiness. And so if you would like to step into that, just simply go to my calendar, which is callwithsherry2.com. So that's the number 2, not spelled out. And I'll put the link in the post after we're done here. But I would love to support you, to help you move forward, to help you have the life that you are worthy of and that you deserve to be living. So thanks so much for being with us today. So much love to all of you. Jen, again, thank you so much for being here with us. God bless you. God bless everyone watching. Bye now.